Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gold Learning. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC and Public Relations Manager and MC for Gold. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm sitting down here with Penny Simkin, and she's going to be speaking to the significance of childbirth to the birthing person, influences of care and place for birth. We're so excited to have you here, Penny, today. Thank you for joining me.
And thank you.
Well, this is a very big topic, and I can't wait to hear the full presentation, which of course is coming up here on September 7th, so we're excited to have you do that for us. But I did want to ask you a few questions so that our audience could wait in anticipation of what's going to be happening on the day. So I'm going to start talking a little bit about the memory of the birthing person, because this is just fascinating to me, and the influence that it's had over the many years. But I want to know from you, Penny, tell me, when did you first become interested in the memory of the birthing person?
Well, it really was probably in the mid to late 1980s. I had been teaching for about 20 years at that time, and I was beginning to wonder if I should continue, if the work I did mattered. And the main question was, do people even remember their birth? Have they forgotten it? And I'm the only one who cares. You know, it was that sort of, I thought maybe I was out of step with the rest of the country. So that was why I decided to find out.
So from there, you started searching yourself. Well, that's awesome. Well, in your journey now, as you have been talking about it for some time, and I know, others have been talking about it, but have the researchers taken this, as an interesting topic, and have they started to see anything in that area? Have you seen, it been taken on as a research project, Penny?
Well, this is so disheartening to me now, because for years and years and years, my work was the only long-term study on women's memories of birth, and there would be people that had studied for 2 years or so. Mm-hmm. But the last few years, from Scandinavian countries, we've had two really very interesting studies. They interviewed women who had given birth between 2 and 20 years previous, and another one that were interviewing women in their very elderly years, when they'd given birth 50 years ago. So we have those two, and they confirm what I've been saying, and I'm very, very heartened by that, I must say.
Yeah, that's exciting. I guess it takes time for people to see that the topic is actually significant enough to take on as a research project, but it looks like your dedication to this subject matter has prevailed. At least there's a couple of, like you said, there is a couple of studies that have been taken on. Do you think that, why do you think that people have not grabbed onto this? What's the reason behind that, Penny?
Well, I really think that part of it is that they feel that birth is just another day in her life. And, there's so many other things that are going on forever, that those are what are really significant. And I didn't quite feel that way, and I wanted to find out if I was right or wrong. I was prepared to leave the field if I discovered that no one even remembered their birth experiences.
Well, I'm in so many ways, I'm glad that of course you didn't leave, but I think many of us have seen over the years, that it has made such a significant impact. And I remember, talking to the women who I grew up in an old people's home where there was lots of geriatric people. They talked about their births all the time. And, so I was a believer from the beginning. I'm glad that, we're starting to see a little bit of pickup on it. So in talking about this important topic, perhaps you can tell me what you're most excited about sharing. Now, don't give too much away to our listening audience today, because I really want them all to come on September 7th, but tell me briefly what you're really looking forward to sharing.
Well, now that we know that women remember their birth experiences for the rest of their lives, I've been really focusing on what can be done to make this as positive a memory as possible. So in my talk, I'll be focusing on a lot of the things that women report as being important, and then we'll talk about things that expectant parents can do now to prepare themselves for a more satisfying birth. So I'll be kind of focusing on the role of the childbirth educator, the doula, and the care provider.
Well, that's wonderful. I know that that will give many people who are listening in, such a wonderful place to start, with themselves initially, because I know a lot of us who are in the birthing field reflect on our own births, but also when we're working with our clients, it will give us even better opportunity to teach the things that really do matter and the influences that we can have, particularly from the care provider and, of course, the place of birth, as we mentioned as well earlier. So thank you so much, Penny. It has been a pleasure chatting with you, even though it was just briefly, but I'm looking forward to having you again on September 7th for this important presentation, The Significance of Childbirth to the Birthing Person, Influences of Care, and Place for Birth. Thank you again, Penny, for being with us
Thank
here
you.
today. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye for now, everyone.